In this lecture, we will discuss about another phylum of invertebrates, that is phylum Aschelminthes. It is also called phylum Nematoda. Basically, the organisms that are included in phylum Aschelminthes have pointed ends, and the phylum is called phylum Nematoda. Commonly, they are called as roundworms. Roundworms इनको इसलिए कहा जाता है क्योंकि इनकी बॉडी जो है वो one end to another end round होती है. That is why they are commonly called as roundworms. So ये MCQ point of view से ये MCQs जो है वो important है. As you can also observe in this picture that this is basically a roundworm named as a scarus. It has pointed ends like this, and body जो है वो बाकी इसकी round है. Therefore, they are called roundworms with pointed ends. Next, we will discuss about their some general properties. If we talk about their symmetry, they are basically organisms with bilateral symmetry. As you know that bilateral symmetry is a symmetry in which a body can be divided into two equal parts only by cutting it into one axis. So single axis में ही अगर उसको कट किया जाए तो वो दो equal parts में divide होगी, दो halves में divide होगी. Otherwise किसी और axis से अगर उसको कट किया जाए then it wouldn't be divided into two equal parts. So they have bilateral symmetry. The organisms included in roundworms are basically triploblastic. Triploblastic means they have three body layers, and that layer are ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Ectoderm is basically outermost layer. Mesoderm is middle layer, and endoderm is innermost layer. So all the other parts or organs and organ systems are basically formed from these three basic layers. That is why they are also called germ layers. Now the third property is body cavity. So they are pseudocoelomates. Pseudocoelomates means, so it is a combination of two words. Pseudo means false, and coelo means cavity. So the organisms with false body cavity are called pseudocoelomates. बेसिकली इनमें क्या होता है, जो कैविटी होती है, जो उसमें स्पेसेस होती हैं, दीज स्पेसेस आर बेसिकली फिल्ड अप और ऑक्युपाइड बाय द प्रोटीनेशियस फ्लूइड. दैट इज वाई वहाँ पे कुछ बेसिकली मेसोडर्म या फिर कोई और मटेरियल नहीं होता लाइक मेसन काइंड, बट वहाँ पे प्रोटीनेशियस फ्लूइड होता है. दैट इज वाई ना ये प्रॉपर स्पेसिस है, ना ही यहाँ पे ना बॉडी कैविटी है प्रॉपर, और ना ही वो प्रॉपरली ऑक्युपाइड होती है, जस्ट पार्शियली फिल्ड होती है. That is why they are called pseudocoelomates. Next property is nutrition. So nutrition से मुराद है कि वो किस चीज़ के ऊपर फीड करते हैं, what is their food. So basically दो तरह की कैटेगरीज हैं न्यूट्रिशनल फूड में. Some are free living, means they are not parasitic, they find their own food and then digest it. While other are parasites, means they get food from their host and in return also most of them harm their host. So these are basically two categories. It gets food from host, gut. Next property is their habitat. Habitat is basically defined by their nutritional mood. कुछ जो है लिविंग फ्री लिविंग स्पीशीज हैं, इनमें वो ऑब्वियसली होस्ट में नहीं रहेंगी, लेकिन जो पैरासिटिक स्पीशीज हैं that may be live in humans and other animals intestine and muscles. Free living may live in soil or even roots of the plants. So range of size, some of the animals in this phylum are basically microscopic, means they cannot be seen with the naked eye because they are less than 5 centimeter long, while some of the organisms are macroscopic. They are more than a meter long. Macroscopic को देख सकते हैं, microscopic को नहीं देख सकते, and macroscopic में mostly parasitic organisms जो हैं वो यहाँ पे शामिल हैं. Next property is their locomotion. So locomotion is done with the help of muscles. There are basically muscles जो है वो दो तरह से हो सकते हैं, circular and longitudinal muscles on the basis of their arrangement, direction of arrangement in the body. So in case of roundworms, they only have longitudinal muscles. Circular muscles are basically absent. So they only have longitudinal muscles. Basically longitudinal muscles के total 4 bands जो हैं वो इनकी body में होते हैं. Two bands are basically dorsolateral while two are ventrolateral. Lateral for the longitudinal side and dorsal and ventral basically represent the position of the muscles on the body. They move by series of contraction and relaxation of muscles. Now we will discuss about the different organ systems present in roundworms. First system is digestive system. So the organisms in a roundworms are basically have tube-like digestive system. Tube-like digestive system is a type of digestive system with two openings. One opening acts as anus and the other opening acts as mouth. They have tube-like digestive system. You can see in this picture. This is basically a picture of scarus. This is the body. This is the body layer, and on the inner side of the body there is a long gut. You can see that from this part to this part. So एक gut है जो पूरी body में along the length of the body extend कर रही है, and this gut is basically digestive system. So these organisms are also called ट्यूब विद इन ट्यूब. ट्यूब विद इन ट्यूब जो है वो इसको इसलिए कहा जाता है क्योंकि इनकी बॉडी बाहर से भी एक ट्यूब की तरह लगती है और डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम अंदर भी एक जो है वो ट्यूब है, जैसा ट्यूब के अंदर ट्यूब हो. तो बिकॉज ऑफ देयर अपीयरेंस they look like a tube within tube. This is the intestine, and you can also see that this is the one opening that is called mouth, and this is basically interior opening, and this is the exterior opening that is called anus. In excretory system, two longitudinally running excretory canals are present, and these excretory canals unite together at the anterior pole of the body to form a single canal that opens to exterior through a single pore on the ventral side of the body. So you can also observe in this picture there are basically two longitudinally running canals and they unite together to form an exterior pore, and this exterior pore basically excrete the whole excretory waste to the outside of the body. Next is the nervous system. Basically nervous system के तौर पे here is the nerve ring around the pharynx. As you can see that this is the pharynx, this portion is the pharynx, and this is a nerve ring. So this nerve ring acts as nervous system, and there are also sensory organs in the form of papillae. These papillae present on the anterior lip. Next we have respiratory and circulatory system are basically both these systems are absent in case of roundworms. Respiration takes place with the help of diffusion. So if we talk about the reproduction in case of roundworms, in roundworms, asexual type of reproduction is absent. Only sexual reproduction takes place. So in case of sexual type of reproduction, they are basically have separate sexes, mean they are dioecious. Then female sexes are ovaries and they produce ova, while male reproductive structure is testes and they produce sperms. When egg and sperm fertilize together, they produce a zygote, and zygote develops into larva and then pupa and then adult. Now we will discuss about the examples of roundworms. So first genus we have Rhabditis. They are found in soil, maybe in soil, organic matter, maybe in water or feces of man or other animals. Then we have Scarus lumbricoides. This is an intestinal parasite of man. Then we have Enterobius vermicularis. It is commonly known as pinworm. It mostly occur in cosmopolitan. It is mostly cosmopolitan, but more common in Europe and America. Commonly called as pinworm, parasite in human cesium, colon and appendix. ये बेसिकली ह्यूमन पैरासाइट है और ये रहता कहाँ पे ज़्यादातर ह्यूमन सीजियम में, कोलोन में और मे बी इन अपेंडिक्स. देयर मूवमेंट कॉज इंटेंस itching of anus. It also causes inflammation of mucous membrane of colon and appendix. So it results in insomnia and loss of appetite. भूख खत्म हो जाती है इससे और फर्दर मेंटल जो है वो डिस्टर्बेंस होती है. The last one is Ancylostoma duodenal. Ancylostoma duodenal is commonly called as hookworm. It is also a human parasite, but it is an intestinal human parasite. It mostly occur in Asia, North Africa and Europe. ये सबसे डेंजरस है इन सब में क्योंकि it is basically present in intestine. It holds villi and also sucks the blood. Because it sucks the blood, it causes anemia. But along with the sucking of the blood, it also produces an anticoagulant. That anticoagulant prevents the blood to clot. ब्लड को क्लॉट नहीं होने देती जिसकी वजह से ब्लड जो है वो ब्लड फ्लो कंटिन्यू रहता है और अल्टीमेटली जो पेशेंट होता है उसको ब्लड की कमी हो जाती है एंड ही और शी बिकम्स एनीमिक. इट कॉजेज severe anemia and also retard physical and mental growth of the victim. So the social history of roundworms is not so good because they are severe human endoparasites and cause many diseases. Now there are the pictures of different roundworms. This is Ascaris, Brahaptitus, this is pinworm, and this is hookworm. So these are the parasites of human as well as the other animals.